morning, beautiful and lovely people. Good morning. All right. So I have here for you chapter 3 from the Holy Koran, and we are going to be reading about a very simple, seemingly simple topic today, which is basically the title. It's called The Unity of Life by Elihu. And he's teaching in the grove, of course, to Mary and Elizabeth, quite possibly at this time, Jesus and John. We have our friend here as well. And he's really going to cover the basic differences between your higher self and your lower self. So we talked about the lower self being kind of your carnal nature and transforming into your higher self. So now he's going to talk about the differences so we can better learn and soon begin to learn how to curb the lower self or the carnal self. This will also relate really well to what we discuss in Job later, because it really is an oscillation between the higher and the lower self that Job is experiencing, as well as his friends during this next period. So let me go ahead and begin. Can you even see? Oh, yeah. It's being majestic. He wants me to hold up my arm like this for right now. Hello, majestic. All right. Let's go ahead and begin here. So Elihu's lessons on the unity of life. We begin in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Again, Elihu met his people in the sacred grove and said, "No man live unto himself, for every living thing is bound by cords to every other living thing. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will not love and not demand love in return. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will love and not demand love in return. They will not do to other men what they would not have other men do unto them. There are two selves, the higher self and the lower self. The higher self is human spirit clothed with soul, made in the form of Allah. The lower self, the carnal self, the body of desires, is a reflection of the higher self, distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. The low self is an illusion and will pass away. The higher self is Allah in man and will not pass away. The higher self is the embodiment of truth. The lower self is what the higher self is not. The higher self is justice, mercy, love, and right. The lower self is what the higher self is not. The lower self breeds hatred, slander, lewdness, murders, theft, and everything that harms. The higher self is the mother of virtues and harmonies of life. The lower self is rich in promises, but poor in blessedness and peace. It offers pleasure, joy, and satisfying gain, but it gives unrest, misery, and death. It gives men apples that are lovely to the eye and pleasant to the smell. Their cores are full of bitterness and gall. If you would ask what to study, I would say, yourselves, and you will have studied them. And then you would ask me what to study next. I would reply, yourselves. He who knows well his lower self, knows the illusions of the world, knows the things that will pass away, and he knows his higher self, knows Allah, and knows well the things that cannot pass away. Fixing typo. Un momento. Thrice blessed is the man who has made purity and love his very own. He has been ransomed from the perils of the lower self and is himself his higher self. Men seek salvation from an evil that deem a living monster of the netherworld, And they have gods that are but demons in disguise, all powerful, yet full of jealousy and hate and lust, whose favors must be bought with the costly sacrifice of fruit and the lives of birds and animals and humankind. Yet these gods possess no ears to hear, no eyes to see, no heart to sympathize, and no power to save. This evil is a myth. These gods are made of air and clothed with shadows of a thought. The only devil which men must be redeemed is self, the lower self. If men would find this devil, he must look within. His name is self. If man would find his savior, he must look within. And when the self has been dethroned, when the self has been dethroned, the savior, love, will be exalted to the throne of power. The David of the light is purity, who slays the strong Goliath of the dark, and seats the savior, love, upon the throne. Of course, the holy Koran of the Moorish temple of holy science, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali. Right? So, quick and concise read today. The differences between the higher self and the lower self, getting to know what is that carnal nature and how we really do our best to shun the darker parts of us. Something that I found that helps, okay? We experience perhaps not carnal actions as much as we are trying to transform ourselves and be better people, but it's those carnal thoughts that can creep in. And when you really, instead of fear the thought and push it away and hide it and try to cover it up, in the sense that you're ashamed, right? We all feel shame. But even to sit with that carnal thought for just a second, you know, almost as if it comes up in your mind, to look at it and stare at it and try to unwrap it or uncover, you know, why that thought came about. So the more, sorry about that, the more the thought comes in, look at it, sit with it, try to unwrap it, and it will eventually dissipate and not bother you again, if that makes sense. The more we try to push away, you'll notice that the carnal thought, the carnal nature will try to creep back in and try to creep back in. And this makes a good sense when we're talking about, it's not the demons, right, that are coming and attacking you every second with these little thoughts. It's really yourself. And it's really that lower self that we need to gain control and have dominance over, truly. If we are looking to save and protect ourselves, we must have dominance. And so with that, right, it's love. Why we're focusing on that thought, why we're sitting with that thought, why we're unwrapping that thought and trying to gain an understanding, that's love at work, and that's purity at work, because we're not scared, we're not shying away. We're not trying to, you know, dismiss or shove away the carnal thought. We're trying to understand and learn. So again, love, purity, and using that king-like dominance to rule over our mind is really a very crucial tool for right now. And we will discover in this next part of Job how Job and his friends are actually speaking with their tongues through both their higher self and their lower self. They're oscillating between them, and some are trying to instill fear, and some are wallowing, and some are having divine revelations of being connected and being close to God. I did like this part here where it does say we are all connected by cords, all living beings, not just human beings. All living beings are connected by cords spiritually. So that is also a really good point to go ahead and introduce the differences between higher and lower self. Because we're all connected. It serves all of us if we all work on different things together. So I will be right back. Let me go clean up the trash that he just knocked over, and I'll see you in just a second.